Accessibility Confident Employers, ACE.
Hi there, my name is Jamus Dorey, and I am the Senior Advisor for Persons with Disabilities and 2S LGBTQ plus initiatives at NSCC. I'm a light-skinned male wearing a white shirt with a checkered tie and have brown hair. So at NSCC, we are actively working towards accessibility by 2030, very much working on implementing our accessibility plan. Some of the ways in which we are incorporating accessibility into our work would be through our Accessibility, Equity, and Action team. And so that is a cohort of individuals within the Nova Scotia Community College, whereby all of the directors from various departments who are the program owners and ultimately decision makers within their departments come together and talk about how accessibility affects their department, talks about the intersectionality of the various pieces that accessibility touches within the various departments, and also affords an opportunity to have conversation about how they can work together to achieve accessibility goals. Another way at NSCC that we are working towards accessibility would be through our employee resource network. So we have an employee resource network that is comprised exclusively of people with disabilities throughout the NSCC ecosystem. We come together virtually, given that we are located across the province. And we basically just talk about all things relative to persons with disabilities and accessibility. And so there are times where, as the senior advisor, I will go to the co-chairs, or I will actually go to the committee, and I will ask them, so a bit of a consultation, if you will, around what their thoughts are with respect to a certain piece of work that maybe we are looking at undertaking. Or if we are looking for feedback on something that we think that we as an organization should be moving forward with, in the sense that it would enhance accessibility at the college. Another thing that we have at NSCC, because we are so large and have such a large footprint across the province, 3.2 million square feet, 17 physical structures / campuses, throughout our various communities across the province. We are an organization that is pursuing Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification with all of our new builds. So currently we are building a new Sydney waterfront campus in Cape Breton, and it will be hopefully a gold standard build. We also have student housing that's being built right now in Pecto campus, as well as Acrely campus and Ivany campus here in Dartmouth. And it's also on the agenda that those three new builds actually are Rick Hansen certified as well. And I guess probably maybe one of the more important things that we've done as an organization to work towards accessibility is establishing a senior advisor that is responsible for accessibility. So in this particular role would be the responsibility for implementing our accessibility plan. Of course, everything that would come along with that, from compliance work afterwards, etc. And so it allows me to work very closely with all of the various departments and leaders throughout NSCC to ensure that we are all collectively working towards accessibility by 2030. So another exciting thing that we've done at NSCC is we've actually hired for some time now a staff interpreter. And a decision was made about a year ago that all correspondence coming out of the president's office at NSCC would also include an ASL interpretation. And so for all staff and students who are deaf at NSCC, they have the ability to receive correspondence from the president's office in their first language. So with respect to impacts that we are seeing internally within the organization, certainly we are seeing a culture that is developing around the importance of equity, of course, and specifically accessibility. So we took a bit of a different approach this year as an organization, and we decided to, instead of having a separate diversity or equity plan, we've actually embedded equity, diversity, inclusion, accessibility, and anti-racism into our main strategic plan. In fact, it's one of our 4 priority areas of impact. And so as a result of that, there are actionable items that land in our business plan. And as a result of that, of course, they are actionable, measurable, and hopefully they will get done. So we very much take an intersectional approach to looking at how we can become more accessible at NSCC, ensuring that we are considering all of the lived experiences. And part of that is us, again, liaising with the employee resource network to ensure that that first voice and lived experience of people with disabilities that we have right here within NSCC is valued and heard and taken into consideration as we implement this work going forward. Also, we've just recently undertaken accessibility audits of our 13 physical campuses, as well as some of our additional structures that we have within the NSCC ecosystem. And of course, all of that is to ensure that we align ourselves with the Rick Hansen Foundation accessibility certification standards. And I had mentioned earlier with respect to our new bills that we are pursuing a gold standard with those new bills as well. And I guess the last thing that I would mention is that we are also reviewing our policies and procedures to ensure that they are accessible.
Accessibility Confident Employers is a project of Sea Change Collab. Visit us, www.sechangecolab.com. Funded by the Government of Canada. Financé par le gouvernement du Canada.